What's up guys, it's Kristen here today with an unboxing video. So I have this huge stack of books here today. It's a mixture of ones that I purchased myself and other books that I was sent from publishers, and I happen to love unboxing videos, but I swear I don't know if I'm going to be able to do one of these videos ever again because this took all of my willpower to wait to open these until I could film, because honestly book mail usually doesn't even make it in the house before I tear it open. Now I am so ridiculously excited to open all these, so excuse all of this squealing, screaming noises. And I think I'll start off with my order from Book Outlet because obviously I purchased these on my own, so I know exactly what is in this box and I've been anxiously waiting to open it. No, it's not working. Alright. Alright, typical Book Outlet paper. I can already see it. Okay, so first book on the very top is Like Water for Chocolate. This is by Laura Esquivel, and she is a Mexican writer, so it was translated by Carol Christensen and Thomas Christensen. And I heard about this book on BooksWithWings channel. She did a video highlighting Latin American authors, and it sounded a little bit similar to Marquez's writing with the magical realism elements to it, but then she said that it is filled with amazing descriptions of food, and I was like, totally sold, done, take my money, I need this book in my life. And the next book I see here, if I can get it out from the paper, is The Romanov Sisters by Helen Rappaport. Sorry, I can't pronounce that very well. I have been wanting to read this for so long. I keep seeing it on Book Outlet, and this is a scratch and dent copy as well, hardcover, and I think I got this for $3 or $4. And I am absolutely fascinated by Russian history, and I studied it a lot in university, but most of my studies were about the Soviet and post-Soviet and present-day Russia, but I don't know a ton about the Tsarist period, and I'm sure everyone kind of knows the basics about Anastasia and the Romanov family, but I really want to get more in-depth knowledge about them. Then I've got the novel Bones and All by Camille DiAngelis. I heard about this on my friend Brittany from UnderTheRadarBooks channel. I think she said it was one of her favorites of last year, and we have like eerily similar taste in books, and we really love dark, creepy, magical realism-esque. And from what I know, it's about a girl who, anytime people get too close to her, she eats them, which I thought was like a weird fairy tale element kind of thing, but when I was scrolling through the Goodreads reviews quickly, there was a lot of gifs of Hannibal Lecter, so that just made me even more intrigued to get to this. And last but not least from this Book Outlet order is The Blue Line by Ingrid Betancourt, and I didn't know a ton about the premise, but I know a lot about the author, Ingrid Betancourt, because she is a political activist, and I saw an interview on Oprah with her years ago because she was kidnapped by the Colombian drug cartels and taken into the jungle for 5 years, and I know she wrote a memoir about that experience, but I believe this is her first novel, and it takes place during the 1970s in Argentina during their quote-unquote dirty war when an authoritarian government started to take over, but then there are also elements of magical realism in the story, so politics and magical realism together, that's like me in a book, and I am really obsessed with this cover. Every time I see it, I wanted to get it. And again, this was another scratch and dent copy. All of these books that I got were scratch and dent for like $4 or $5, and there is literally nothing wrong with it. Book Outlet is just my new obsession. So now on to the books that I requested from publishers for review. This first one is from Faber, and let's see if I can get the scissors the right way this time. This is not open. Alright, you know what? I'm done. We're ripping this open. Okay, so the first book I got from them is Arcadia by Iain Pears. This one's really starting to make the rounds on BookTube as usual. Jen Campbell gave a glowing review, so now everybody just needs to check it out. It seems a little bit confusing where there are multiple worlds going on and an author who is writing about those different worlds. There's this one review on Goodreads that I absolutely love. It says, "The most entertaining Shakespearean time travel, dystopian, science fantasy, spy, thriller, romance I've read in that terribly overcrowded genre." So again, from that description and what I've heard from other people, it just seems like this massive mixture of genres and a little bit difficult to define, but just amazing all the same. And then also from Faber, I got The Monstrous Child by Francesca Simon. And this one I believe is closer to middle grade than YA, and it has something to do with Greek mythology, which I am always up for. It says on the back, "Meet Hel, teenager and queen of the dead, daughter of a giantess and a god, sister to Fenrir the wolf and Jormungan the snake. This is her testament. She didn't always hate everything." Next up, I have a book from Penguin Random House, and this is massively heavy, so I'm going to put it down for a second. I think I know what this one is. Yes! Oh my gosh, get this paper out of the way. This is The Crow Girl by Erik Axel Sund. I've been really excited about this one. This is a Swedish crime thriller novel, and it's getting a lot of comparisons to Stieg Larsson's Millennium Trilogy that I read several years ago, and I absolutely loved it. It's actually one of my favorite series. And it's so massive though, because I believe when it was originally published in Sweden it was a trilogy, but now for the new release they have compiled all of them together in one edition. The book is set in Sweden when the body of a young boy is found, and it revolves around the detective who is trying to solve the case but dealing with the difficult judicial system there. And I love this super creepy cover, which I've heard from a few people who have read it. It is an incredibly dark and disturbing novel, but one that you just can't put down. Though if you go and look up the original Swedish covers for the trilogy, the cover pales in comparison to how weird and creepy they are. And last but not least, I'm not sure which publishing house this one is from. Let's see though. Okay, this is The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. This is her new book. Oh, obviously she wrote Room, which became a huge bestseller. I actually never read it though, only because I ended up seeing the movie first, which ended up being one of my absolute favorite movies of the year, tied with Mad Max, of course. And she wrote the screenplay for the movie as well, so clearly she is a genius. And this book though is set in Ireland in the 1850s, 70s, doesn't say on the back here, but it's about a girl who decides to fast for religious reasons and that she's going to live off manna from heaven, and she ends up becoming this worldwide sensation, I guess because she doesn't die right away from not eating. And so then this nurse comes along to watch over her, and she has a lot of doubt whether she actually has been fasting, but she's there to make sure that she somehow stays healthy and stays alive. And obviously, like I said, she has a lot of doubts about this girl and whether she really is performing these miracles that everyone thinks. This was sent to me by Little Brown, and it comes out on September 20th this year. So that is it for all of the books I bought / got sent, and I'm so excited that I finally got to open them here on camera, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you've read any of these books, I would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!